So it has been
Woohoo!
the holiday season, and we're back.
Yes, Happy New Year, everyone, and
Happy New
Merry
Year
Christmas
and Merry Christmas as well.
and
I
Happy
just got
Hanukkah.
back from vacation. Happy
That
Hanukkah.
that's right. That's really why we were off for 2 weeks, is because you were in a very remote location,
Yes.
relaxing.
Chillaxing. I was with my
Yes,
whole family.
so
So
cool.
little inside baseball. I've spent the last 2 years in rehab around Christmas time, and this was my first Christmas away from all that. And so I was, so very thankful to be there with my family. We
That's
had we
awesome,
had a
man.
great time, and well, yeah, I don't see the harm in saying it. We were in Costa Rica. We had a great
Ooh,
time,
how far
and
is
I
that
was
from here?
very
Or
far.
it
It's
is. I
a
mean,
s it's a 6-hour flight from where I live, and the
holy
whole time I
crap!
was there, I was looking for UFOs, didn't see a one because, in Costa Rica, it's apparently the rainy season, and, when it rains there, it rains hard, very
It's like a
hard.
rainforest, right?
Yeah,
Is,
yeah, we
is it
were
all?
we were staying
Yeah.
we were staying in the deep jungle, and like where we live now, when it rains, it's kind of just like tinkling, it's no
Right.
big deal.
Mhm.
But in Costa Rica, when it rains, it's like a torrential downpour, and it was. I mean, I love that stuff. I love the
Yeah,
rain,
yeah.
always have, but it's not for everyone.
I mean, especially if it was raining the entire time, were you guys able to do anything outside?
Oh yeah, we did a lot of stuff outside, but we were, we were in the rain.
Yeah.
Actually, what's funny is the first few days we were there, it was super rainy, but it was on Christmas Day, it stopped raining.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. At least you enjoyed that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so you said it was in the jungle. Was it an Airbnb or you stay in a
It
hotel?
was it was an Airbnb. Um
Ooh,
and I mean, God, I could talk about this so much. I mean, we were
nice
staying
house.
it was fine.
Oh, okay.
But we were staying at, a volcano,
No
just outside of
way.
a volcano. Yeah, Arenal. I mean, it was gorgeous, but, I mean, this is how much, the weather affected us. I only got 1 picture of the volcano.
What?
Yeah.
Well, that's too
So
bad. But how was it at
so
night? I mean, if you say it's in the jungle, is it remote or are you guys
yeah.
close to civilization?
No, no, no. We were outside civilization. Um, ac okay, so Costa Rica, they had this volcano, Arenal. It's erupted several times, but, in 1968, it erupted and caused this huge crater, and then the government filled it up with water. They shored up the rivers and whatnot to
Yeah.
make, and so we stayed, outside this Lake Arenal. I
Mhm.
mean, yeah, it was super cool, man.
That's beautiful, dude. It must have been really pretty. Those lakes are created by the volcanoes.
Yeah.
I've seen like in the Philippines. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. I mean, it was super cool. I have no regrets. Absolutely none.
And everyone speaks English there, right?
Well, they
Or maybe
do.
not in the remote
It
areas,
was
but
it was a little bit touristy. I think that was my brother's main complaint. But they speak Spanish really slow, which is great for someone like me who knows a little bit of Spanish,
yeah.
not enough to speak well, but enough to understand people when they're talking.
So nice. Very nice.
It was
Well,
it was super cool, man.
yeah, I'm sure it's a great place to spend the holidays. Were you there for New Year's too?
Yeah. What? No, 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 no. I was back
Oh, you were
before.
back. You were back already. Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Anything crazy for New Year's?
Oh
No one
yeah.
does really anything for New Year's
I know.
like like we
We're,
used to in the old days.
yeah, I
Stay
was
up
gonna
all
say
night.
we're getting old. We're
Yeah,
getting
staying up
old.
all night and have breakfast.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's not such a thing anymore.
No. In California, I noticed the cities don't really celebrate New Year's. Like we don't have fireworks here,
Oh, I
you
had
know.
plenty of fireworks outside my place.
Did you guys really? private
Yeah,
one.
yeah. No, for sure we did. I mean, I didn't participate, but there
Yeah,
were fireworks. I can hear them all goddamn night.
really.
Yeah.
So I guess people then do it. Not it's not like a city thing, because overseas, right? Like Australia has a or Sydney has a huge one. London has a
Mhm.
huge one. Dubai, New York. I guess New York has one. That's about it, really, for us, right? It's just New York,
Yeah, I guess so. But
maybe
hey,
Vegas.
you know what we should do?
Mm.
We should talk about UFOs and
Yes.
uncovering anomalies on this podcast.
Yes, we've missed it. We've missed you all. We missed sharing the weekly UAP news and disclosure and see
Yeah,
where we're
I
getting with that.
yeah, I texted you right when I got back, and I was like, I missed the podcast. Like, this was my therapy.
So cool. Yeah, I mean, we get together every week and talk about this subject that we love, and it's beginning to merge now with other events. And we'll talk about it, like that guy who did the Cybertruck
Mhm, mhm,
explosion
mhm.
guy. Now all of a sudden he's talking about gravitic propulsion, anti-gravitic propulsion, and the drones
You know,
supposedly.
we've missed a lot while we were out. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, we did.
there was a whole assassination on a guy, and we just we weren't here to record, but
Right.
we can talk about it now.
Yeah.
Wait,
Uh,
no, we did talk about that.
which one? What assassination?
The assassination of the healthcare CEO. We talked
Oh
about that.
yeah, yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, yeah. But there
Yeah.
was like the New Jersey drones hasn't stopped. Like when we weren't reporting or recording,
No.
those things kept coming in just daily,
Oh
even
my
though
god. It
even
was
though the
nonstop.
FAA restricted, yeah, that and the FAA had to expand the restrictions to other counties
And
because they're still flying up there.
and didn't the government say it was Santa Claus?
Did they really do that as a joke? You mean
I you know,
bastards?
I don't know. Yeah, fucking bastards, all of them.
Yeah, like Arizona. Remember when they came out dressed like an alien
Yeah. Yep.
when the Phoenix Lights happened?
Pieces of shit. Hey, by the
Wow.
way,
What's your name today?
no shit. We didn't. I'm so sorry. I'm all out of sorts.
We're out of
That is,
practice.
yeah, exactly. That is. I have a need to know, Adam, and I am Topher. And you know what? I'm not even going to announce the name that I put on this screen. Just
Them.
you understand.
They, them,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah. Yeah. We totally get it. This is episode 102. Wow. I mean,
102. My
we celebrated
goodness,
100 3 weeks ago, I think.
it's been so long.
Yeah, it has. Today is the 5th of January,
Good lord.
2025. Man, this year has started off to be extremely chaotic.
Yeah,
And
I mean, I'm here for it. But man, I don't think a lot of people are.
no, I don't think they are either. They're going to be in for a surprise. If they're listening
Mm.
to the show, I think it would be obvious to them what's going on, what's happening.
Yeah, actually, that's been something that's crossed my mind recently is that people who don't like believe in the existence of UFOs and yada yada yada, all of this is going to be a huge surprise to them. But
Yeah,
everyone else is like, "I told you so! I told
right.
you so! I told you
Exactly.
this was happening!"
Yeah, and it's not just about aliens, right? It's going to be about the
Right.
technology, and then we've covered on the show before that
Mhm.
these technologies are real, and we have them, and we've been using them for probably a couple decades or something.
Very long time. Yeah.
I did want to start with this from Ruby on X. She found a post by John Lear before he died, obviously in 2020, and what he thought about the UAP task force. So he says the unidentified aerial phenomenon task force, pure BS. Let me explain what the UAPTF is all about. More than 70 years ago, the US government launched a top secret investigation of UFOs, which included the recovery and sometimes burial of flying saucers of all types. The investigation was kept more secret Then the development of the nuclear bomb. No elected or appointed official was ever told about the program, and it was kept buried deep inside the Pentagon. President Truman was the first and last president to have been briefed in full about the program. Each
Yeah.
subsequent president was told less and less.
Yeah, I mean, this is going back to further presidents. I mean, this is why JFK was assassinated.
Yeah, yes, definitely one of the reasons why he was assassinated is because he wanted to share the UFO secrets or our secrets with the Soviets, and that is just that drives the deep state bonkers. If you mention anything about having peace with Russia or some kind of cooperation, right?
God forbid we have peace with another country.
With anyone, yeah, exactly. No, we just have to
Jesus
bomb,
Christ.
bomb.
Yeah.
Over the past 70 years, this program has collected over 50 ET craft and over 100 different alien bodies and hundreds of thousands of feet of high quality film taken of the on site recoveries and included exterior and interior shots. The recovery teams, initially based in Fort Collins, were called the Blue Berets and were males with no families, no relatives, and usually orphans. Makes sense. This was so that if there was any infraction, however slight, this team member uh, could be eliminated and nobody would be the wiser. The stories of the recoveries were fantastic in keeping the craft out of the sight of the public, traveling and transporting it in complete secrecy, usually only at night, with advance teams preparing and leading the path for recovery and cleanup teams leaving the property and soil as if nothing has ever been there. Destinations for the recovered craft were all hidden and are still in place. Some are taken to Area 51, but not many. Some were.
That's a very interesting tidbit. They're not all
Yeah,
taken
not
Area
all of them.
51.
Yeah, so Area 51 Groom Lake was initially prepared in 1948 by CB Crews, who dug several layers below the dry lake. It was then covered up, and only by sheer coincidence did Lockheed choose the exact area for the testing of the U-2. This underground, wow, I never knew that.
CB Cruise? What's a CB Cruise?
I guess that's maybe I have no idea. Is that from the blue guy? What did he call him up here? The blue.
Huh.
Oh, the blue berets. Maybe that's what he means. These blue berets.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, this is all really good stuff.
Yeah, this underground area was kept totally secret until the early 90s when the original runway caved into one of the hangars underground. A second runway several hundred feet to the east was built, and the original runway was not used again and the hangar repaired. In the late 70s, more underground hangars were built under the Tonopah Test Range, that's Antelope Dry Lake, which connected with huge tunnels and connected with the Groom Lake and Papoose Dry Lake underground hangars. In the early 80s, another huge, completely underground facility was built under the Pout Mesa, along with a dual runway and hangar 13 miles to the north under Gold Flat. And by the early 2000s, all facilities, TTR, Groom Lake, Papoose, and Pot Mesa, were all connected with enormous underground tunnels and hangars. And these facilities were not only secret facilities in Nevada. There was one to the west of Pioche, one near Ely, and one near Ferber Flats in northern Nevada. And of course, all are probably others. Where is he going to get to the point? Manning these facilities and keeping them secret was a major problem. So a maglev high-speed subway was built from under the Luxor with additional parking and terminals under Area and Bellagio. Like these casinos in on it.
Yeah,
From
in
where
Vegas.
Yeah, from where over 5,000 workers a day are whisked to work and back in less than 20 minutes. I
Yeah.
bet you.
So a lot of this I feel like is converging with the Dulce, New Mexico story, but also AJ over at the Y Files, he covered the flights that go out of Vegas to Area 50. Was it Vegas or was it LA?
Yeah, I think it was Vegas in that show.
Yeah, he covered those flights that go on Area 51. It's a fascinating episode.
All right, here we go. So they put Elizondo, Luis Elizondo, who knew nothing about the real recovery program, and put him in contact with former Senator Reid and his friend Bob Bigelow, who always had an interest in UFOs. Then the Pentagon announced that they had other things to take care of, and they were going to let Elizondo, Reed, and Bigelow run with the UFO ball, gave them the Tic Tac radar photos, $22 million, and pretend they were going to let them run the UFO recovery show.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, the Pentagon had over 70 years of ET artifacts, 50 crafts, bodies, and film carefully hidden away and safe from public scrutiny forever. The UAPTF is just a brilliant scam perpetrated by the Pentagon to hide their deep involvement in UFOs. John Lear, July 25th, 2020.
I feel like all of our government is a big scam. I mean,
Yeah, every single agency is just out there to protect themselves,
yeah.
and to keep growing.
And what do they do for us? What what
It's
is
just for them.
Yeah,
It's just for them.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. Fun tweet.
Yeah. Ashton Forbes had on, and this is someone I've been obsessed with Giorgiani, Jason Giorgiani, and his books, Closer Encounters, Prometheus and Atlas. Like he's a philosopher, but he's a great researcher into UFOs. So it's a nice clip that he
Sweet.
said pretty much the same thing what we read from Lear, but more detailed. So let's take a listen.
There's a lot of really dangerous chaos at play behind the scenes. You, I think, had been interested in inquiring into who's behind this slow drip model for disclosure. Two individuals who worked with the former director of national intelligence, at this point, former director of national intelligence, Avril Haines, one of whom is a CIA officer who worked with her as a colleague in UFO working group meetings, UAP working group meetings, roundtables, basically. And from another individual who worked directly under her as a private contractor and who also had very high-level contracts with the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, which is the same organization that David Grush is coming from out of, right?
Yeah, the NGA.
So I have two independent points of confirmation about what the slow drip disclosure agenda was, and it was an agenda being run from out of Avril Haines' office, apparently with her as the director of it. And the agenda was this, okay? First of all, their priority was to make it appear as if the United States government was not investigating UAPs in any serious way prior to 15, 20 years ago, prior to the Nimitz incident and these videos of the Tic Tac and so forth that they released, okay? So they wanted a clean slate approach where they're not going to be held legally accountable for anything that they had done in the preceding, 70 years or more, actually. This was like a 4 or 5 phase plan that they have that was supposed to be unfolded over the course of something like 15 to 20 years. And the first phase, I was told, was that they were going to use the James Webb telescope, this new telescope that they have out there, to basically release to the public imagery of apparent artificial structures on distant bodies in our solar system. Then the next phase was that they'd identify structures on the moon, on our own moon, and on Mars that are artificial. And the third phase was that they were going to try to connect these structures on the moon and Mars to anomalous archaeological sites on Earth. The fourth phase was going to be anthropological, that they were going to excavate remains of humanoids who they believed were responsible for these engineering anomalies on the moon, Mars, other moons in the solar system, and also for anomalous sites on Earth.
Wow. And he said that was the plan. So I'm not sure if that's still the plan. Avril Haines was under what's his name? Trump. So, and that's where this started. Remember in 2017 with the release of the articles, and so I'm not sure if this now the plan might come back because Trump is coming back. His administration might bring back something similar.
Yeah.
I mean, people have been pushing Trump, and we're going to see what's his name, Chuckers, says that he's going to push Trump or beg Trump to release the truth about UFOs. We'll see.
We'll see. I mean, you know, Trump also said the same thing about releasing the JFK files, and he didn't do it. So
He said he'll do it this time. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
see.
see.
Politicians,
see.
man.
Yeah,
so-
every goddamn time.
But interesting, right? About the artifacts on the
Yeah,
moon and
no,
Mars, and then
yeah,
link them to here. I mean, that would be cool if they do that.
Super cool.
Although it's a government program, so who knows what
we just said every
right
program.
everyone hides them.
Man. Well,
Just-
you know, I hope that our life under this new government is different, but
we shall see.
yeah, we shall see.
So this is apparently a report of a
Oh, yeah.
drone that crashed in New Jersey.
Yeah, you know what's weird is I remember seeing like the original. I don't know if it was an article or a video, but like I remember seeing the original crashing news, and then it was completely wiped after that. You can't find anything about it. But you've dug something up here.
Yeah, and this is definitely a strange one. So, I mean, I don't know if this thing's like not like I don't know if it's people are just seeing things but it just adds to the mystery of these drones.
Mhm.
And so it starts on the above date. NJSP Perryville troopers responded to a drone complaint located at redacted Hunterdon County. The reporting party, Mr. Greg Pardo, called Perryville Station to report that there was a downed drone in the wooded area near his home at Redacted. Upon arrival, Trooper M. Silenti and myself spoke to Pardo, who escorted us to his backyard deck that provided a clear view of the downed, illuminated drone. All right, so they're seeing it. The illuminated drone appeared to be in a tree approximately 1 mile away from Redacted. Pardo, being familiar with the area, indicated an approximate grid location for where the drone was. Along with this information, Pardo provided photos of the downed drone as well as video footage showing the drone land in the trees. The video footage and photo provided by Pardo were uploaded to Axon View under case number whatever.
Yeah.
And it continues. At this time, Sergeant Pakovics arrived on scene and observed the drone as well as the footage provided by Pardo and myself. Pakovics and myself proceeded to the grid location provided, which was located at redacted Lebanon, Hunterdon County. While the responding Perryville troopers prepared for a field search, Trooper Silenti remained on scene at redacted to maintain a visual on the drone. Sergeant Pakovics, Trooper Nishewat, Patorini, and myself began a methodical field search in the wooded areas surrounding Redacted. Not long after the search began, Trooper Silenti reported that the drone was no longer illuminated and that he was unable to observe it. NJSP Aviation responded to assist in the field search along with JTTF, Emergency Management, Field Ops, and ERB. After approximately 2 hours, the search was concluded with negative results.
Well, I mean, just
so they just disappear. I mean, I guess you can just turn off your lights. I mean, what? And then no one saw it take off, right? Is that what they're saying
right.
too? It just disappeared.
I mean, it's such a wild. I mean, the fact that this is in the police report is just.
Yeah.
I mean, they saw something, right?
Right. Yeah. There it is. They're not calling it UAP now. It's just drones, and that's why it's making it into these reports. I think maybe that's a good thing that they're called drones, right?
Yeah.
Because a UAP or UFO, they would be they'll classify.
Right. Well, I mean, God, there's been so much going on over New Jersey, and it's good to see that we have actual proof that. I mean, something's going on.
Dude, something's going on. You sent me this one. New Jersey.
This is pretty wild.
And I guess this is like a few or maybe six of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 drones.
I think there's more that show up too. I mean, this is bizarre to me.
Totally bizarre. Now we're not saying that drones can't do this. Modern
Right.
drones, I think we've seen them in China and other places.
Yeah, they do really cool displays. Yeah, see, here comes another one. And
Oh yeah,
there's a
there's another one.
second one. And I think there's a third one on the left as well.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
mean,
drones-
what is
drones-
this?
Either
I mean-
someone is messing with us, or someone is announcing they're here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just bizarre footage, and they go, okay, like, so drones can do this, yes, but then who is doing this, and
Who
why?
is doing this? And we still don't know.
Yeah,
Whoa. That's yeah. Again, and even if it's NHI or whoever, it's someone who wants to be seen,
right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then this one was strange. It is what it is. A guy in a chem suit controlling a drone the size of a car that is spraying chemicals out of it.
Huh.
Maybe they're spraying chemicals to bring down the real UFOs.
Yeah, maybe.
But that does look strange, huh? Looks like a
Yeah,
military
definitely.
operation.
But they have they've got the aviation flights on it. You know?
Yep, exactly. The red and green lights. Can we tell? Is there anything on this truck? No insignia, nothing.
Mm-mm. Well, that's how you know. That's how you know it's them.
Yeah, white unmarked.
Yeah,
They stopped using the black unmarked vehicles because those are just too.
too obvious. Yeah.
Yeah. Any comments here? Okay, yeah, we don't know.
Huh. Very.
Yeah.
I
People are
mean,
saying could be farms.
yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Why do that at night? You know?
I don't know if this is fake or not. You see it? It's
Yeah.
like it because it's, it's
But-
too perfect.
I was gonna say this is one of those things where the second people see a real UFO, they're gonna go, "Oh, that's CGI. That's CGI."
Yeah. It's too bad
Yeah.
because this could be real and it's
Yeah,
terrifying. Actually,
I mean, this is one of those things where you're gonna go,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is CGI."
Yep. There it is. Go by. But that like it looked like it appeared from nowhere.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's good footage. Yeah, look at that thing go.
Yeah.
You
It's
know
not
what?
super clear either.
No. That's good CGI then.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't buy the whole jet thing.
Yeah. That's what did it for me. I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah,
It's like a movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Still cool footage though.
Yeah, it is cool. Dr. Greer, of course, has been around, been on many interviews talking about drones. Here he talks about that they're Chinese.
Yeah, I mean, I've really done
Which,
this.
yeah.
I mean, this is it's the same thing as that senator saying, "Oh, it's Iran."
It's Iran, yeah.
With a boat outside of New Jersey or whatever the hell he said.
I mean, China would be crazy to do this.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me.
So it could be a distraction, but why would Greer jump into that distraction? Because now the Chinese thing is coming from that Cybertruck explosion, right? Supposedly leak.
Well, the thing is, I can't figure out. He's all over the map to me. I mean, obviously he's done really good things with the UFO community, but every time he opens his mouth, I don't know if I should believe him or not.
He said in 30 days to buckle up. Something soon is happening. Everyone's making fun of
yeah,
that.
yeah. That's what they always say.
Yeah, yeah. All right, well, let's see what he says here.
In West Palm Beach, Florida, and the last 3 nights in a row, I've seen these 3 things flying overhead. What in the world are they? What are these quote unquote drones?
Well, there are whole several phenomena happening all at once. A lot of the drones are actually people are starting to look up and seeing things that were always there. All right, that's one thing. So it's an observational artifact, we'd say,
Yeah.
or skew. But the ones that really are the drones, that there are these flurries of them, those have been released in anticipation of a team of people that I've been working with for about 20 months, coming forward from 6 different black sites in the United States that deal with UFOs and extraterrestrial craft, or NHI, non-human intelligence. And once it was decided they were going to come forward between now and the inauguration of the new president, then this whole drone event started. Now, why? Because it's causing a lot of consternation and confusion. It's also causing a lot of mixed signals and sort of a diversion, so that when they begin to come forward with their evidence and information, people are going to say, well, maybe it was just all drones. Now, what are the drones doing?
Yes.
I just had here with me they left an hour ago, a contractor who has been tasked with looking into this. And he's quite convinced they are, some are ours. They're all man-made. None of them are alien or anything like that. But quite a few of them appear to be originating from China or Chinese assets for reasons that appear to be surveillance. And that is at least the conclusion.
You know, that doesn't make sense to me, because if they're here to spy, why do they have lights on? Why are they flying so low to the population? Why are they allowing them to take videos of them? You know,
Right.
it just doesn't make sense, man.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
And it does make sense if they're trying to normalize something, like if they know something's is going to happen in that specific region for some reason, New Jersey. I don't know why. Right? I mean, if they normalize that things are in our skies that we don't know what they are, then when it really happens, people are not going to panic.
Yeah, but I think I agree with you. I just think that aliens, truly, alien creatures, they're impossible to understand because they're, well, they're alien.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. We don't know how they think. We don't know what their motivations are. Their culture is different. They probably don't even use money.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels so not barbarian, but like so behind the times, where it's just everything's still fixated on money and how much you have in your bank account. And
right. I mean, excuse me. Do humans understand ants? Like we study them, and ants always do their business. So
yeah,
like,
not their motivations, I don't think.
right.
We might, yeah.
So imagine a level higher.
Right.
It's impossible for humans to understand. That's my point.
Yeah, no, I get it. And now and Greer's saying that none of them are NHI. That could be true too, but again, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, right.
Conclusion these experts have reached. Now, he also is aware, because he's embedded with the organization and people coming forward.
That was so huge. Can you repeat that statement again and then continue?
What part of the statement from
Chinese?
When we went? Oh yeah, that they know that quite a few of them are from the Chinese, but the Chinese activity is probably being coordinated with a transnational criminal organization that's been responsible for keeping all the UFO secrecy. So in other words, here's the mistake everyone makes here in Washington, where I am right now, and everyone listening. We all look at a map of the world and we see a boundary between Canada and the United States, or China and Russia. The organization that's working at the level that we're talking, they don't care about that. And they have assets that are derived from many, many countries. It's like a United Nations of illegal covert programs.
Yeah.
Now that goes back, we know, to the 1960s. And I can tell you a story about that in a little while. It's in our disclosure files at our archive. But as soon as this group,
I think that's an important part that he mentions, right? About who's behind the secrecy and running this, that they are transnational. They really don't care about countries. So maybe there is some kind of truth of the Chinese one, where these guys are just using different assets from different countries to do whatever they're doing. You know, we don't know what their what the plan is, but that
Yeah,
does make sense.
yeah, I get that. I mean, we're essentially talking about the Illuminati here.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. A breakaway group or
Mhm.
breakaway groups even, but that, and it is transnational. Definitely the West, all of the West, the Five Eyes, you know, and even China, because they are part of this.
Yeah,
At that level, I mean. So when you talk about that level, it means all these
sure.
wars are all also BS, right? And just games
Well,
that they play.
yeah, of course. I mean, we know that.
Yeah. So I guess from that perspective, maybe maybe China then is involved, but not China as we know China, the nationalist China,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, no, I don't. I don't think this is perpetuated by any country as we understand them.
I mean,
Uh,
what if these breakaway groups are announcing themselves somehow and saying, when we're taking over in a way where we're extremely beyond, the rest of you technologically, all the countries are in debt, we're not, kind of thing. I don't
yeah, I
know.
mean, it, yeah, I mean,
It
I,
just
I,
it
I
just
don't
can't
think
keep going like this, is what I'm saying. Like the way the
right.
planet's going and money, this bubble's gonna burst,
But I
and
mean,
so
and again, I don't mean to keep bringing up conspiracies, but this is Project Bluebeam. This is the beginning of it.
yeah, right, yes. So maybe this is a very long term plan
Yeah.
because it's still happening over there in New Jersey. People are still talking about it seriously too. The government's
Mhm.
still saying, "Don't worry about it. We don't know who it is, but don't worry about it," kind of thing.
Oh, Jesus. Absolutely worthless.
It's such a strange, strange thing. And time travelers, even, right? People are saying that's us coming back. Um,
I love that theory. That's one of my
because something happened
yeah,
there. Yeah.
yeah, that's one of my favorite theories.
Me too. Because this technology is time travel,
Hmm.
right? Zero
Hmm.
point energy. And, if you can traverse or you can create wormholes or pop in here or pop out there, that's basically a time machine.
Right, exactly. Yep. Yep, yep, yep.
So, yeah, and could you imagine? That's why they don't want to disclose it too. Could you imagine normal people just having time machines? I mean, God.
Can you imagine normal people having 0 point energy?
Well, it's a dangerous world, and I'm going to say this, and I don't know if I sound like a bad record, but because of religion and because people with each of their faith think they're the right ones and they're the true ones, unfortunately, because of that type of thinking, we can't have these things
Yeah.
because each one of them will use it to their own ends.
No, I completely agree.
If they're gone, well, then, what else why would you then want to take over the world and, run everything the way you think it's supposed to be run?
Yeah, I don't inherently think religion is bad, but
Me
people,
neither.
men and women, have used it to take advantage of others, unfortunately.
Yeah, all of them. They've all done that,
Yeah.
right? Horrific crimes, and to them it was justified though because they were bringing God to these communities and these civilizations, and I can see that argument, right? Especially in
Mhm.
South America when they were like sacrificing people
Yeah.
daily, and same thing I think in cannibalism, but still, who are we to say that's not right? I don't know. It's obviously not right to me and you, but
Well, here's the thing. I was raised Catholic, and the Catholic Church has done well. There's been a lot of boy raping, and
yeah, they've had a good
I don't know
share of
that
that.
that kind of spoiled my outlook on religion. I
Yeah,
mean, like, you get people in power and they just do nasty, nasty things. I mean, we're seeing it all over the place. Look at
yeah,
Harvey Weinstein, look at P. Diddy, look at fucking Epstein, that fucking piece of shit. I
yeah.
mean, for whatever reason, I don't know what it is. You get a bunch of money and you do evil things. I guess that's just the way.
Yeah, because you get off on it, because you get away with it, and your
Yeah.
power over people. Yeah, who knows? I've never really been in that situation.
No, I
You know,
haven't either.
but you think people must go crazy when they make money.
I,
You know,
I
they lose it.
yeah, I guess. I don't know what the hell's going on, man.
Oh my
Like
God.
I'd love to get Bill Gates on the show and have him tell me what having all that money is like.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, for him, he just won't retire. He just wants to vaccinate the entire planet, including our livestock.
what a fucking psycho. But
He
that's
wants
all.
to.
I want to understand, and for whatever reason, there's no understanding.
No, and it seems like he's also a slave to something. Because if you're that
Yeah,
rich and he's in his 70s, like go retire, man.
right.
Leave us the f
It's
alone. But no,
it's
he's
it's
up
the same.
there.
It's the same thing with our government. Like, look at someone like Pelosi. She just
Yeah.
fell and injured her hip. Why
Oh,
are you still working? Why
it was like
go
Feinstein. Remember
retire?
Feinstein when they used to roll her into the Senate?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in a go-kart. I mean, who are these people that they need to be in charge so bad?
I don't know. Yeah, because they are also. I think the slavery is a hierarchical system. It goes all the
Yeah,
way up. So even the
yeah,
billionaires, they're a slave to something. And
yeah.
well, and
I
maybe that's
guess.
what these things are. It's like, all right, we're announcing ourselves.
Yeah,
All right, let's continue
and
the
just
career.
and deal with it.
Yeah, we went off on a tangent there.
Yep. Sorry.
Group decided they were going to set a date to come forward. And remember, I've been at two of the chief black sites out in the Western Desert in a helicopter with the main guy who's coming forward and defecting. He's been a special forces operator there since 1995 in those programs. And as soon as they decided to come forward, set the date, and this was the big surprise about a month ago that I learned, they're going to unmask themselves. So in other words, they're not going to just anonymously say, here's what we've seen. These are at the highest level of aerospace contracting and special forces who are going to come out, rank, their name, rank, serial number, nothing held back in terms of their identity. So that's a game changer, because this is the most significant earth-shattering disclosure in human history, number one, when I tell you what they've been doing there.
Yeah.
And then number two, in anticipation of that, these corrupt enterprises are trying to gaslight Congress and the president and the public and the media, and create also the specter. This is the other part of this, of something frightening in the skies coming. See, this has been the plan since 1953 at least, that Werner von Braun warned us about. The man who invented the rocket for Adolf Hitler, on his deathbed, told a member of my team, Carol Rosin, that the plan was to eventually launch an alien threat or something from the skies, so they could unite the world around some sort of authoritarian or militaristic totalitarian superstate.
Blue beam.
That is what they're doing. We're at the point, we're at the inflection point where that's all about to happen. And so they're trying to set up a lot of diversionary tactics, as well as things that are frightening people, because they manipulate people through fear and people not knowing. So you go up, I'm up here all the time up in Capitol Hill, and you're talking to members of the Senate Intelligence Committee or House or whoever, or the incoming administration, the people I'm dealing with the incoming administration. By the way, I'm totally nonpartisan. I have to deal with whoever gets elected president of the United States. The point I'm making is that none of them know what's going on, but there's a lot of confusion and fear about it. So, and then in that, you build in this distrust of government, because so far the United States government has not properly addressed it, because I think they don't want to on one level. On another level, they don't really understand it. Now, this is where you get into this whole craziness, that whatever you think competence or incompetence is in government, it's way worse. I mean, it's just way worse.
So are we being so much?
So interesting. He says there that he had these guys that were going to go public right? And even say who they were, and then that's when this stuff started happening. Interestingly enough, the first disclosure project that he did in the year 2001, just a few months after that, 9/11 happened.
Yeah, funny how that works.
Yeah, always when we get really close to this core secret, boom, something happens, more cover-ups, more secrecy, more of our rights are taken. Right? It's always linked to that.
Every single time.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. It is crazy. And because it's called a core secret, which means if that secret's ever shown, it's over.
Right. And we've discussed this so many times on the podcast, but what the hell could the secret be?
I mean,
I know, right?
The secret, yeah. I mean, I think the secret is like there's nothing out there except us, that we're alone, right? I mean, I'm saying that. Sorry, that's the secret. That's the narrative they're protecting, and that it's really hard to come over here from light years away. The technology, we don't have it, and we're probably thousands of years to ever, grasping it, and blah blah blah. Yeah. I don't know. Tough question. What do you think? That's a terrible answer.
I mean, honestly, if this is a question of what would terrorize the entire public, something like, this is not reality, and people, as in aliens, come in here and tweak around with everyone, right?
And do what they want.
And we as the people have we've got no power, we've got no mission, we've got nothing.
No control of that, or and experiments too, right? We're an experiment,
right? I think if that was the secret that they were hiding, I guess I can understand that.
And because maybe 0 point energy then it lets you be on that level, their level, and then they're not going to have that.
No, of course not.
Yeah. Well, it would also destroy the empire, because then you don't need money anymore in that system. In that system with 0 point energy is understood and is everywhere and is abundant. Energy is abundant. You don't really need even a money system.
Well, I think,
I think an older one maybe.
Yeah, I think society as a whole kind of, well, how do I phrase it? I think the rich and elite, they defend the power that gave them power, right?
And the power structures.
And once us little people decide that we're not okay with that, they're done for. But they know that, and so everything is designed to kill us slowly.
Yeah,
I mean, look at Luigi. He killed a healthcare CEO, one of the top big men, right? And there was this manhunt to hunt him down, and I don't even think that was him that did the thing, but there was manhunt. They had rewards going out if you can spot this guy.
I didn't even pay the reward either.
No, but
the cheapos.
If some 7-Eleven, guy working at 7-Eleven, he gets shot, they're not fucking doing that kind of shit.
Oh, of course. Did you see when they walked him into? They had like 2 helicopters, and they had like 6 guys around him.
Absolutely ridiculous. The mayor was there. I mean, good Lord. Imagine if you or I, God forbid, you or I die, by murder. You think they're going to do that shit for us?
Of course not, because they're not slaves to us.
Because we don't matter.
Yeah, politicians are slaves to the corporate class. The corporate class are slaves to the banking class. The banking class is slaves. I don't know to what. Something not good.
I know what. We're just not allowed to say it.
Oh man. Yeah, you guys get it. See, F them.
Yeah. I'm scared to even say it.
Well, man, if what's happening with those drones is what I think it might be, and I can get really schizo on these things, then yeah, we're in big trouble.
Yeah. You know what though? Sorry, not to keep going down this tangent. I hope
Yeah.
it's really what you're thinking for, because
Oh my!
I want this society to collapse. I'm tired. I'm tired. It's all nonsense, you know?
Maybe that's why resets are just hard coded into this reality, because
Yeah.
consciousness does just get sick of it. It's like we need something new.
Yep. Yeah. All
Well,
right. So
yeah.
what do you got
Yes.
here?
So James Fox was on Rogan, and he came forward with a letter from a whistleblower that's going to come out, or whistleblowers are going to come out, of quote unquote drone incursions they had in 2003 Vandenberg Air Force Base.
Okay.
Pretty cool. So we can listen to that.
This is about an air base in Vandenberg Air Force Base in 2003. And this is not an anonymous, but this is about incursions over. Listen to this. I promised this individual that I met at Seoul conference. He's a witness. He's a military guy. My name is Jeffrey Nusatelli. I served 16 years in the United States Air Force as a technical sergeant and a military police officer. In October 2003, my coworkers and I witnessed a series of extraordinary UAP incursions at Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. The initial event is known as the Vandenberg Red Square, and it was first mentioned during the historic UAP hearing held in 2023. The case involved Boeing contractors who witnessed a huge red square-shaped object, roughly the size of a football field, hovering over a missile defense system. The object was silent and had no visible means of propulsion. The contractors watched in amazement as the massive object slowly drifted east and vanished over the hills. I retained official Air Force records of the event, including the blotter form entry, which includes the names and contact information of all the witnesses, and provided it to select members of Congress, Aero, and the FBI. Aero is a new UAP task force, all-domain anomalous resolution office. After the initial event, several other UAP incursions took place at Vandenberg. I was on duty during many of the encounters, and I investigated the incidents as they unfolded. Now remember, this is not anonymous reporting here. They include a football field-sized craft that terrified security guards as it silently hovered over a launch facility before flying off at an unbelievable rate of speed. A brightly illuminated silent object that landed on the base flight line before accelerating instantaneously and disappearing into space. A huge triangular-shaped craft larger than a C-130 that hovered 50 feet over a police officer before it drifted slowly over the base. A blue-white liquid orb, roughly the size of his house, that hovered over his house on the base. The objects made no sound and had zero obvious means of propulsion. And he says, my experiences with UAP were awe-inspiring, exciting, and terrifying. I don't know why UAP are flying over our bases and our neighborhoods, but I do know the UAP phenomenon is of the utmost importance to all of humanity. I currently have 5 other military witnesses to the Vandenberg incursions that are all willing to testify tomorrow under oath that these statements are true. We need answers to this mystery and better government transparency. Thank you for the opportunity to share my story. Former United States Air Force Technical Sergeant and witness, Jeff Nusatelli.
Whoa.
All right, Nusatelli. That's
Hey,
crazy.
Good on you, man. Thanks for coming forward.
Yeah, and hopefully Arrow doesn't just memory hole this.
You know they will. Come on, man.
They saw balloons. That's what they saw. They saw balloons and Chinese lanterns.
We're so sick of this goddamn bullshit.
And they would, or they'll just say that's not resolved or not enough data. That's what they'll say.
Right.
We don't have enough data.
Oh my god.
Like they don't have sensors all across the base. Cameras, radars,
I mean, this is a military base.
yeah, exactly. A nuclear one.
It's what's weird though is like I feel like, man, sorry, I've got stuff coming up. They always come in and I mean, it's rare to see like one nowadays, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Agreed. And of course, Rogan always goes back and forth, but he covers this a lot.
Yeah. He's the most popular like news figure of all time now. I mean, people don't watch CNN or Fox News anymore. They tune into Rogan.
Yes, he shifted the vote.
Yeah.
When they used him, well, when Musk used him for this effort to bring
Yeah.
Trump in, him, and, he had Vance on, he had Trump on, then he had Musk on. Yes, it does shift things for sure. He does. He's a force of nature. COVID, he was so good on that.
Yeah, definitely.
He was a big force in trying to end that horrible time.
Oh, God, more horseshit from our government.
Like, yeah, and they act like nothing happened. Of course they did.
I know. Yeah.
Of course they did. Let us not forget, people, that COVID only ended because of Ukraine. All of a sudden, COVID was not important, and Ukraine was. That's exactly what happened.
It's even fucking stupider than that. Do you remember, like, during COVID, the BLM movements were big and happening, and the government came out and said, "Oh, if you're out supporting Black people, there's no chance
risk.
of you, no risk of getting diseased." And then, Trump at the same time was out having rallies, and they were like, "Oh no, that's where you get COVID."
Oh yeah, they were calling it COVID super spreaders. They were calling them
super
spreading events.
How stupid do they think we are? I don't even give a shit. I don't give a shit about Trump. This is not a This is not a political thing. I'm just saying, like, how can a regular person listen to that and go, "Oh yeah, I totally agree with what the government's saying."
There's so many.
God, it was just.
And I think, I don't know what it is. It's like outsourcing thinking or outsourcing critical thinking, or they don't want to do any critical thinking. And
that's
easier.
That's actually a really good way to put it. Yeah.
Just laziness.
That's exactly what it is. I mean, the cynical part of me wants to say it's stupidity, but I don't know, laziness. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, I know many intelligent people that just parrot what's on mainstream media.
I know, man.
Just totally parrot. I'm like, how can you just not even look into that a little bit?
Another thing about humankind that I will never understand.
Yeah, what is it? The appeal to authority.
What's that?
I mean, that humans just they
Oh,
love people in authority. So
yeah,
if someone's on the news saying something, they don't care who it is.
Yeah, man, this is really pissing me off, this conversation, because yeah, there's so many people that just go, I don't know what to think. What does YouTube tell me? What does CNN tell me? What does Fox News tell me? And I just can't understand how a person can be like that,
because it takes effort if you want to go and check different sources, and so I mean, I guess I get it.
I don't.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we're not like that,
No, I know, but
yeah,
I'm sorry, it drives me nuts.
And that's why I think it's probably the laziness thing, where it's just why should I step out of line?
What's that song by Rage Against the Machine? Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me.
Yes.
But everyone just does what they're told.
Yeah, and including them who sang that song.
Oh no, they're Rage for the Machine.
Yeah, Rage for the Machine. They told all their audience to get the shot before coming to the show.
But this is what I'm talking about. I'm so sick of this attitude where you do what they tell you. It's such a bullshit.
Yeah,
it's such a terrible attitude to have. That's all. That's it. We can move on.
All right, let's move on.
Sorry
okay. Well, I wanted to say, like, it turns out that that was just their brand. That they're not really a Rage Against the Machine. It was a marketing brand with a message.
It's so frustrating. It's all so frustrating.
Yeah. All right. Triangular shaped UFO filmed by multiple witnesses stumps locals. I think this is in Mexico. Wait. Oh, sorry, Brazil.
Yeah, we've covered triangle UFOs on the show before. I truly do think that these are man-made.
Yeah, that's. Ooh.
That's creepy, though.
Okay. I don't know the thing about that. It could be like just a normal drone, but someone else. So her neighbor also saw the
Mhm.
UFO and also filmed it. Where? Oh yeah, it's the same one.
Olá,
Well, no,
tá piscando colorido.
not really.
Tá parado, né? Ela está piscando em colorido.
See, the reason
É
I think
grandona, né? Ó.
these are man-made is they're too obvious. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like
the-
when people see UFOs, it's always some kind of weird experience, but the triangular ones, people just see them and I mean, don't get me wrong, they're weird and creepy, but
Well, except that footage. Remember the one? I think it's in it's in New York or UK or something. That
with the guy who's looking out his window
Yeah,
and the one
that
just
one.
oh yeah, no,
That one.
yeah, no, that one
And
is
it's just sitting there.
oh, it's so creepy too. You can feel it like
Yeah.
through the video, like you can
Absolutely.
feel him.
Yeah,
You can feel it looking at you. Oh man, yeah, no, that's
exactly.
great.
But the other one that we just saw now didn't feel like that. That could have been just a normal drone. I
Yeah.
think.
It's the what's it called? The T3RB? What's that one?
TR3B.
TR3B. Yeah.
And this one, this video by the neighbor is not very clear.
Luz de avião? Não, tá parada.
Yeah, that's it. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Oh, we have another incursion. This is from Daily Mail.
Another orange UFO orb was spotted in the skies over the U.S. near a military base in Tennessee. How many times are we to see this story?
This was yesterday. So it's still going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's still going on. I sent you a message right before I sent you an article right before I left. The military base right close to us, they also have had UFO incursions over their base. I mean, this is just happening over and over and over again.
So weird. So another mysterious orange UFO orb was spotted flying over the U.S. However, this time the inexplicable glow was seen conspicuously hovering over a military base in Tennessee. An anonymous user on Reddit, captured footage of a mystifying bright orange light flying relatively low as it traveled over Fort Campbell, a military base along the Tennessee-Kentucky border on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I was just gonna say UFO orbs are a curiosity of mine. What's that ranch? Skinwalker Ranch.
Skinwalker, yeah.
The people there described orbs flying all over their property. Well, look at this. See, I don't think that's
This is New York.
very interesting. Well, that's nothing. that last one is just a picture of a light through the tree.
Oh man, they're covering Reddit posts. That's hilarious.
That's the one with 4 orbs. Yeah, that's interesting.
UGO? Why UGO?
Oh God, they got. You said it earlier. They always have to name it something else.
UGO. All right. I don't know.
What is it? UGO?
Unidentified gay object.
Yeah, totally.
Here's that one.
Yeah, no,
that could be anything.
That's Venus.
The circle makes it serious, though.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I don't think that that one's nothing. Also,
all right, Daily Mail. We do have other articles from them.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And what's this?
Is over Disney World. There was
Which
a
one's
red
Disney
UFO.
World? That's in Florida, right?
That's the one in Florida. Again, it's not too clear, but it is weird when you zoom in on it.
Whoa,
Yeah,
interesting. I
and
mean,
it's going up or straight.
that looks like a penis.
Yeah, well, maybe because they're over Florida.
Well,
Hey, they all saw it.
It looks like a lot of people saw it. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, hello, man. Look behind you.
So he's taking a selfie with this thing that's flying overhead. Get out of here, man.
That's hilarious. All right.
Jenny Powell.
Who's Jenny Powell?
I don't know. It was an ad that was on the last
So
screen
it's
there.
not SpaceX. That's SpaceX. Google.
Oh, unidentified Google officer. That's what UGO stands for.
Google officer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the guys at YouTube. That's what they're called.
What's this now?
So this guy, and we might have played some of his stuff before, but I don't think this part, or maybe we haven't. But he is a whistleblower, an Area 51 whistleblower. I think he came out in the 90s. But in this clip, he talks about how they built a simulator, a flying disc simulator.
Well, that's something.
Yeah, and that he was part of that engineer. We're not gonna listen to the whole thing, but definitely that part and what that simulator was based on. Well, it says it right here, actually. And a researcher talked about the 1953 crashed UFO in Kingman, Arizona. And that would make sense because that supposedly was an intact craft. It just landed.
All right, sweet.
We started work on the flying disc simulator, which I spent 30-some years working on. The simulator wasn't actually functional until around 1958, where the simulator was actually operable. The craft that they used to build, which is a 30-meter one, was the one that crashed in Arizona, Kingman, Arizona, back in 53 or 52. I think it was 53. That's the one they used. That's the first one that they took out to the test site. It landed about 15 miles from, which used to be an Army air base, which is now a defunct Army base. I forget, I can't recall the name of it. But that particular craft, there were some problems with, number one, getting it on the flatbed to take it up to Area 51. They couldn't get it across the dam because of the road. It had to be barged across the Colorado River at the time, and then taken up to where people go now, up 93, out to Area 51, which was just being really constructed at the time, and taken down those dirt roads and out to that particular area of the test site. There were 4 aliens aboard that thing, and those aliens went to Los Alamos, and they put certain people in there with them, people that were astrophysicists, just general scientists, to ask them questions. The way the story was told to me was there was only one of them that would talk to any of these scientists that they put in the lab with them. Only one of the aliens. The rest wouldn't talk to anybody, or even have a conversation with them. First they thought it was all ESP, or what do I want to say?
Telepathy?
So yeah, mental telepathy. But most of that is kind of a joke to me, because they actually speak, maybe not like we do, but they actually speak and can converse. The difference between this aircraft or this disc and other discs that they had looked at was that it was much simpler design. In the simulator, it was one big thing different. The thing that like Lazar calls the reactor. Okay, we didn't have a reactor. We had a space in a thing that looked like the reactor, but that wasn't the thing we operated the simulator with. We operated with 6 uh, large capacitors that were charged with 1,000,000 volts each. Say there were 6 million volts in those capacitors. They're largest capacitors ever built. These particular capacitors, they last for 30 minutes. So you could get in there and actually work the controls and do what you had to get the aircraft or get the simulator, the disc to operate. Okay. Actually, when it was operable, it would lift off the ball about a certain amount of there was a dimension there that we had that it actually lifted up, and it could actually turn, a certain amount of degrees left to right or whatever. In a simulator now, you'll notice that there are no seat belts, right? And the same thing with the actual craft, no seat belts. You don't need seat belts because when you fly one of these things upside down, there's no upside down like in a regular aircraft. You just don't feel it. You have your own gravitational field right inside. So if you're flying upside down, to you, you're right side up. There weren't any windows. The only place we had any visibility at all, and it was done with cameras or video type things at that time, was in the turret section. It takes a lot of time because of the area and the smallness of it. Just to raise your hand, it becomes complicated. You have to be trained with your mind, to accept what you're going to actually feel. And
So there's some
experience.
perceptual distortion.
There's a lot of distortion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing, just moving about. It's a. After a while, after you get used to it and all, and you do it, it's simple. You got to know where everything is, and you got to understand what's going to happen to your body. It's no different than, accepting the G-forces, when you're flying a aircraft or coming out of a dive, and that kind of thing. It's a whole new ballgame.
Did our flight crews ever take one of these discs out into space?
I don't know that. I don't really know that. I'm sure they have. I'm saying it probably took a while to train enough of the people or sufficient time. The whole big problem with this, with the disc, is that it's so exacting in its design and so forth, and it can't be used, it can't be used as a like we use aircraft today with dropping bombs and having machine guns, in the wings and that kind of stuff. The design is so exacting that you can't add anything. You can't. It's got to be just right. There's a big problem in the design.
Crazy stuff, man. Well, that's good if you can't put guns or drop bombs, right? Using these things. So then, okay. So what's the problem then with releasing these technologies, right? If because they're always scared. Well, someone can just deliver a nuke immediately if they have this technology, or and that would make sense if you are in your own gravitational field. You can't really drop anything because it'll hold it.
Yeah, but I imagine that there's some way around that. I mean,
I guess you'd have to have the device in you.
yeah.
Inside, land, turn off, go out. But yeah, you can just take off quickly.
Very
you can still do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole simulator, and it's based on the Kingman, Arizona craft.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which we've discussed, and
Yeah.
Christopher Mellon, right, he was having a signal conversation with someone in the government saying that they're looking into the Kingman craft, and
Right.
that really did happen.
Hmm.
I love the Kingman, Arizona.
Yeah, I think that's
story.
that's a really fun one.
Was it 50? I thought it was 49, or is that Aztec? Oh, yeah, no, 51. 51.
You have a
Was
better
Kingman.
memory than I do, because they're all just numbers to me.
I think it's 51 because they were exploding nukes.
So what do we got here?
This is a material scientist that's worked with his name is Richard Banderick. He's worked with Lockheed Martin, NASA, ULA, DARPA, and he discusses these alien materials, and it's really cool what he says. They cloak itself, disintegrate in wrong hands. Materials can reconfigure themselves. Small particles communicate with one another.
I mean, this is all from Roswell, specifically the what's it called?
The foil, that foil,
Yeah.
the memory metal.
Yep.
You can crumble it up, do whatever you want to it. It goes right back in place.
Mm-hmm. So cool.
Yeah, and it makes sense if you're talking about electricity.
Yeah, definitely.
You need something that's unified at the quantum level or nano level.
They were smart materials. Like, one of the things is when these materials, you'd be looking at them and you try and reverse engineer them, that they would turn to dust. And they would do it within a minute or two. And then so you could take the dust and then set it off and get the isotopic analysis done on them. And they were extraterrestrial. But these materials, I mean, we're looking at something that's hundreds of years ahead of us. When you look under a microscope or an electron microscope, you're looking at something that's composed of very small particles that seem to be communicating with one another. So those are the things that I've been involved in that we can talk about. But, I think that's one of the reasons why extraterrestrial materials are not really available to most people, is because most of them are set to disintegrate if they get in the wrong hand. Isotopic analysis of the dust that's left behind tells you it's extraterrestrial, at least where it was manufactured. But so we're looking at materials that can reconfigure themselves. So they are composed of small subunits. So the type of things I looked at were something as small as a sliver of metal that would reconfigure itself depending on where it was. It would cloak itself and it would try to blend into the environment. So the ones that this one NGO used to get a hold of were the ones that were technically broken. I guess the ones that didn't really function very well. So then you could collect them every once in a while and then try to analyze them. You could do things like split them apart, and they would attempt to find each other or reconfigure. Some of the experiments they did was we took one of those and we put it on a very hot surface of about 3,000 degrees. And what it would do is it cooled the surface around itself. And then when we took the device off and then weighed it again, we would find that the mass would be reduced by a certain amount.
Do these feel like programmed materials to you, Richard?
Yeah, they were, like I was saying, they're more intelligent materials. Like these subunits probably had computational functionality, right? Because they knew what their neighbors were all about, and they knew they could reprogram themselves to be something different, right? If they needed to change themselves. So these are really curious types of materials. So that's how we could kind of tell they were extraterrestrial, because these things weren't like decades ahead of us. They were probably hundreds of years ahead of us.
So scary. I mean, it just for some reason reminds me of, did you see NVIDIA's new AI, their new AI chip that they brought? That basically you can plug it into a robot, for example, and it has the capabilities to have like a chat GPT right in there.
Oh my God.
But
No, I
basically like a
haven't.
thinking brain. Yeah. So I mean, if they're starting, and it's not that big. It was pretty small. So if they could make nano things that are thinking,
Mhm.
we're headed that way too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But that's just nuts how he's looking at these particles and they cloak themselves, they change depending on their environment, disintegrate based on who's touching them. I mean, that's really crazy.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Yeah,
For
because
sure.
what does that mean? I
Right.
mean, he's
Well,
he's he's okay to handle it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, so who the hell does the UFO decide it can be handled by? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, American. All right. That's fine.
Yeah,
that might be saying something there about what this
right.
is. And it's funny saying hundreds of years ahead of us. Right. We've covered that before, kind of that technology will only be within hundreds of years. So we
Mhm.
don't advance too much, right? Something like that.
Right. Yeah, very interesting concept.
And then Linda Moulton Howe, she always has talks with government insiders. So she talked to someone that told her about that these aliens, the different ones, actually create like avatars that they control, which I thought
Yeah.
was interesting.
Yeah, definitely. That's actually what some theorize that the Greys are. They're little machine people that are
Yeah.
controlled from somewhere else.
Yeah, and that they also do that too. Apparently, that they create like Nordic beings that they control,
Mhm.
and vice versa.
Oh man.
I mean, if you have the capability to do that, why not? You know,
Yeah, I guess.
we kind of do it. We're here on Earth or here in our human civilization. We put plants. They're called plants,
Yeah.
and they work for you. All right, let's see what she says.
Sherman said the Ebens even make blonde containers that the Ebens control and put their life force into, like what Linda Porter was shown. And then the blondes make Eben looking container bodies that the blondes project their life force and consciousness into. That means a war of enemies in which each enemy is making the mirror of its enemy to control. Hang on to that, as wild as it seems, because what I've just said to you, I think is going to the core of what is happening on this planet right now. The aliens are millions of years advanced beyond us.
Well, it's basically mimicry. And many people were saying early on with New Jersey drones that they're just mimicking us.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many videos that were coming out when this was first going on, and they all looked like airplanes.
Yeah, but then didn't turn like airplanes.
Right. I know.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
They'll turn right on their axis, right there.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like a toy airplane.
Yep.
This guy gave a great talk at the Soul Foundation. Jeff Kripal, or Kripal, basically. And
I hope it's Kripal.
yeah, it's probably Kripal. And he talks about UAP issue with phenomenon from a historian of religions.
Oh, nice.
And and he basically says that religions cannot survive true disclosure. It's a great talk. He's a philosopher.
Yeah, let's hear what he has to say.
Yeah, I think here and here.
This doubleness. First of all, the history of religions is very helpful to the extent that the religions give powerful and consistent witness to something transcendent to our ordinary human experience, something other with a capital O than the social, human, or rational mind, and so potentially transformative of society and the self. Cosmologically speaking, in other words, the view of the universe, the religions commonly place this other in the sky, the heavens or the stars, which they often understand in physical terms, not metaphorical terms. The similarities to the UFO are obvious. I often joke about, quote, weird beings coming down from the sky and screwing with humans. That's called religion, unquote. The joke is meant as a joke. Thanks for laughing. Some of you did, but there is a comparative argument here. But we have to be very careful and precise about that comparative argument, and most people are not careful. They assume their own belief system, their own worldview, whatever that worldview happens to be, religious or secular. It should be stressed at this point that many of the prodigies of the religions have been very aware of the basic incommensurability of a non-human intelligence and very adept at translation and mediation of what looks like a non-human or superhuman presence. In other words, this thing has been around as far as we can see back. There's really nothing particularly new about it. It should also be stressed, however, that these very translations by these religious adepts are often not accepted by the believing public. This is one reason the word mystical or mystikos means quite literally secret. It is not that there is some kind of whispered content that could be shared but is held back, some kind of power game. I have the secret and you don't. It is rather that this form of knowledge is simply not communicable unless the listener is ready, has the requisite experience, has ears to hear, as the ancient Jewish rabbi once said. As Nietzsche put the same matter, he called it esoteric, by the way, to get at the same idea. What will be heard in most such cases is nothing at all. The teaching will sound nonsensical, absurd, in a word, impossible. That is because that which is being spoken is impossible within the categories of the reigning order of knowledge. So there's a real clash here. I really want to stress that. I also think the physical aspects of the history of religions, especially what I want to call the physics of mystics, have been vastly underestimated in the present regime of knowledge, both in the humanities and the sciences. Human bodies in the history of religions do all sorts of superhuman things. They levitate, they bilocate, they know the physical future, and they experience different types of conscious energy, to name just a few. I was once asked to lecture, this is a true story, believe it or not. I was once asked to lecture at MIT by a former propulsion expert who worked in the classified division of a major aerospace corporation. The colleague asked me to talk about two things: human levitation and UFOs. He was totally serious. And there was
I guess those are human levitation and UFOs. So I guess those UFOs use some kind of psychic way. So where's this part?
maybe this is why people fly in some historical epochs and don't in others. That would be weird, but that's what it looks like. So yes, there is a deep connection between the history of religions and the UFO, but we cannot use our present assumptions about society, science, space exploration, and extraterrestrials to understand the past within a kind of presentism, as if our present worldview is somehow complete or infallible. Nor can we use the assumptions of the past about gods or God or angels or demons to understand the present. We have to be much more sophisticated than this kind of thinking, whichever way the arrow flies. There is simply no debate, for example, that the UFO is related to psychical, parapsychological, and paranormal phenomena. Serious researchers have been saying this for over half a century. How many times do we need to hear this before it becomes common knowledge? Perhaps the technology affects or projects the paranormal display, like some kind of movie projector. Perhaps these anomalies are expressions of consciousness itself. Perhaps consciousness itself is the projector. Perhaps, as I have argued for over a decade, such events show us in dramatic terms that there is no final separation between mind and matter. This can be good news if we can but accept our sciences for what they are and can do, and what they are not and cannot do, and then integrate those other intellectual disciplines like anthropology, philosophy, and the history of religions that have rich histories of theorizing consciousness or mind and its relationship to the physical world. Related here, and I'm going to close with this thought, but this is a big thought. Related here is the question of how the religions might react or respond to what is sometimes called disclosure. There appear to be two basic positions in the literature. We've heard them both. One position argues that the religions, more likely the religion of the author in question, can assimilate and integrate such disclosure. The other position argues that the religions are expressions of previous eras and forms of knowledge, not this one, and so they are incapable of the radical change that would be necessary. Hence, it is concluded the necessity of secrecy, or in some cases, gradual disclosure. Speaking such a secret out loud or all at once would spell the end of the religion. I confess I am more of the latter negative camp. I do not think that all religions can integrate the UFO, much less alien bodies. Although I understand and appreciate the former positive camp as well, perhaps I sit or wobble in the middle of the two. I suspect there is an important truth in both positions, and I would draw a distinction to explain my own waffling. I would say what I already said, namely that the religions are helpful in their insistence on translating or mediating a presence that is transcendent to the social human being, but that they are not helpful in the ways that they insist on particular belief systems.
Yep, he's so right on the money with that. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think they can integrate disclosure? You know, I mean, obviously the ones to stay alive and relevant, they're going to have to change, right? So they will attempt it, but some, I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, this is going back to what we were talking about earlier, where people like to be told, what to do, right?
Yeah. You know, I know those people, the ones that just don't want to question. They're like, it's all in the Bible, man.
Mm-hmm.
On there, I don't need to think about those questions. The answers are all here.
Right. Yeah, it's a scary situation.
Yeah, it is, and that's what disclosure is dealing with, really.
Yeah.
From the inside and out, because some of these people look at it from a different lens. That if these things are real, then they're demons. That's it. They're or demons or angels, but if they're doing their own agenda, then they must be demons.
Right.
That's a perspective there.
Well, I just hope that they're what's the word for good demons? Angels?
Well, yeah, exactly. Because angels always obey God's commands, right? And demons rebel.
Yeah. And angels always look like not what the storytellers will tell us. They always look absolutely bizarre.
Yeah, like all eyes, right?
Yeah.
And wheels within wheels, and they're pretty freaky.
So what you got here?
This is called the Alien Perspective official trailer.
Have you seen new movie coming out?
A new documentary.
Oh, documentary. Oh, you know what? I just watched what's that thing on Netflix? The Manhattan Abduction thing.
Oh, you finished it?
Yeah, it was okay. I don't
don't
really buy her story. I think there's some truth in there, but that's it.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of proved that she went. I think something happened, and then she saw that she wanted to get more money for it, and so she started faking things after that.
That's basically
right?
That's basically my opinion as well. Yeah.
That initially it was right, and she just
Yeah, I mean, I think she experienced something, and then she just kept faking things over and over and over again.
So even those officers, right? She faked that. I think it was she proved it, right?
Yeah.
Or not really.
I don't know. That's the beauty of a Netflix documentary, and you don't have to prove anything one way or the other. You just have to get the story out there.
Did you watch the John Benet Ramsey?
No, no, I haven't. I mean, I know the story. I know the story, of course, but I haven't watched the documentary. No.
All right, so let's take a look at this. See if it's worth our time. The Alien Perspective.
Was unlike anything I'd ever seen before. Everything started out normally. He seemed upset and started pointing toward Rendlesham Forest.
Love
We
Rendlesham
just looked at
Forest.
each other for a minute and looked back up at the sky.
There was no sound at all.
Multiple witnesses, military personnel.
My emotions were all over the place. Scared to in awe.
Most science documentaries look at an encounter with extraterrestrial civilization from our point of view. But let's turn it upside down.
Simply the hypothesis that we live in a computer simulation.
The question comes up, who created the simulation?
It was observing us. It was communicating. My questions are, where'd it come from?
Could they maybe be us in the future?
We cannot assume that they're just 100 years more advanced than us.
If aliens are intelligent, they're also curious.
Here we are, we come in peace.
The front page of the New York Times was a big deal.
I don't know whether there are other countries that would like to get their hands on this.
What are the next steps that NASA is going to do? What are the next steps that the community is going to do?
This is stuff that belongs to humanity.
I mean, I'd watch it.
Yeah, nothing new in there for us.
Yeah, no.
It's good for the cause.
Of course.
Right.
I mean, that's that's the heart of all this is we talk about a lot of subjects on this show, but it's because we love the alien stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
And everyone we talk about, they love it too. Some people love it a little too much and they make stuff up, but
Yeah, exactly. Did you see this?
Yeah, this is really cool. I don't know what the hell's going on here.
So apparently there was some creature in the tree that broke half the tree in South Carolina.
Right. They've got big cats there, right? South Carolina?
Yeah, it's gotta be that, right?
That's that was my thought anyway.
Although I mean a huge chunk of the tree is gone.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I hope you can hear this. It sounds like gorillas fighting in the tree. They're breaking limbs bigger around than me.
Nice flashlight.
Yeah, really nice.
Whoa. I mean, if it was big, it would be obvious, right?
Yeah, that's kind of my thought too.
I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Huh. Do you remember we covered that video? God, it feels like
the
years
second
ago.
time I've come over here.
The people in the
and
backyard.
the first time
had
when I
like
got
a
up
game
under them trying to figure out what it
in
was,
their backyard.
they started
You remember that?
breaking limbs off and throwing them at me.
Which one?
The one they partially captured on a film, the alien in the backyard. I think it was in Vegas. Do you remember
Oh
that one?
yeah. The Vegas crash.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of that.
The 9-foot tall one.
Yeah. That's yep.
Whatever it is, because it's breaking limbs off that it would take me 2 minutes to saw.
2 minutes to saw. When's it gonna break the tree in half?
Look, see, he's coming right above me right here. He's fixing to throw something at me, whatever it is. Yeah, they don't like you messing with them. Look. What in God's name
Was it cloaked?
is going on?
There it is, moving.
Huh. Why
There
doesn't
it
he have the
goes.
light on it now?
That's bigger than me. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh,
Look at that. Look at
shit.
that.
Oh, shit.
What in Jesus' name is doing this? Oh my God! He just took half the tree down.
He just
He's
took
not
half
like.
the tree down.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
What the hell?
Oh, it's got to be. It's got to be.
It's gone.
I don't even think a bear would have a chance in Hades.
You know, it's funny. I was just about to mention a bear.
Yeah. Can they climb trees?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
okay. And it's South Carolina.
That's a healthy tree.
I still think it's probably a big cat, but still, that's a huge branch to come off the tree.
Yeah, huge. So he had his light off when that happened.
Well, yeah, but like right there, why didn't he have his light on then?
Yeah, he only panicked and turned it on. Right here.
Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! Look at that!
Whoa! How do you make that?
What in Jesus' name?
Even if you have weight on the top, like it's being ripped from the bottom almost. Could be a hoax.
Yeah, that's nuts. I mean, really good footage of something. Who knows what the hell?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Carter passed away, right?
He
Was that
did,
yesterday or day before yesterday?
It was longer than that because I was still in Costa Rica when it happened.
Oh, so it was before New Year's?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, Jimmy Carter did witness a UFO, and when he ran for president, he promised to disclose what the government knew about UFOs. And I think
then,
FOIA, the whole FOIA thing, that's under him.
And then the inevitable happened where
Yeah.
nothing was revealed.
Right. And he did not say anything. And there's a famous story where he was briefed and
he cried, right?
He cried, yeah. They found his hands were on his face.
Yeah.
And he was crying. He was a deeply religious man, so
so it must have been really good news.
Maybe not good news for Christianity. Or any religion.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in the Abrahamic religions, God created us and we're extremely important in the hierarchy. Maybe that is still true. I have no idea. But for some reason the disclosure messes with that.
Right. Well, I mean, then the answer is obvious, is that there is no God and we are created by these weird alien things.
For some reason, yeah, for them to exploit us.
Yeah.
And then that makes sense because then it shows the behavior of the elite. They do that too. They're like, well, fuck, if these guys are exploiting all of humanity, why can't we?
Right. Actually,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. They're stupid enough not to know.
Alien Nut Tucker.
Yeah, really
Alien
nice.
Nut Tucker Carlson's set to beg Donald Trump to let him get to the bottom of America's UFO mysteries.
I hope so. But that's not nice, calling him dubbed an alien nut.
Yeah.
Radar online.
He has been interested in the phenomena for a while. I don't think he's going to get to the bottom of anything. I'm sorry. I have so little faith in government. I keep naysaying all these people. I mean, good for him. He's trying. It's just, I have no faith he'll find anything.
Agreed. I mean, look what he knows. It's not just that Lockheed is making a lot of money on anti-gravity technology, or we've been visited by people from another planet. I think there's more there. He's right.
Yeah.
And he's got such a huge platform. I love that he's into this and always mentions it and takes it really seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
like
great.
Really seriously. Summoning the craft. Yeah, we've played that clip. Anything else in here?
People don't understand what Tucker's trying to say, but his delving into UFOs is one of the few things he's not doing solely for attention. Said an insider. Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely thinks. But I think he thinks that aliens and demons, aliens or demons.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've heard him talk. Yeah, I was gonna say I've heard him talking about aliens, and he always calls them demons.
He's convinced that UFOs do exist, and he spent an awful lot of time on research looking into conspiracy theories and cover-ups. What are they linking here to for conspiracy theories? Oh, U.S. drone conspiracy theory links devices to missing Ukraine warheads. Okay.
Oh boy.
What is this website? Oh yeah. All right, we can move on. Right?
Yeah, let's move on.
Oh,
Outside
yeah.
of this world, inside abandoned UFO capital of Australia with crumbling quote unquote galaxy theater and decapitated alien statues. Where did you find this?
I didn't even know about this city. Apparently, they had
Do
a
we have
huge.
to go to Australia?
Huh?
Do we have to go to Australia?
Yes.
I want to check this place out.
Me too. I mean, they have huge UFO lore there. A big part of our audience is from Australia. Good day, mate. Did I do that right?
I'm not even gonna try an Australian
All
accent.
right. It is my favorite one.
It's the very
It's so
best.
cool.
That's why I don't
Yeah.
want to ruin it.
So this is the Wycliffe Well Roadhouse. Sits between Alice Springs and Tennant Creek. And it is here where drivers claim to have been chased off the road by an unknown force. So look at the toilet.
Oh man. But these stories are common in every country, unfortunately. Well, fortunately or unfortunately.
Right. So it's Australia's UFO capital, with bizarre sightings being reported there for years. Wycliffe Well. Right there in the middle of the desert, just like how come these aliens, these grays, like the desert?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, middle of the country there. I didn't think there was a whole lot there in Australia, but apparently there's a UFO city there.
Yeah, so it's between Tennant Creek and Alice Springs. Smack in the middle.
Wowzers. Have you been to Australia?
I have not, and it's one of the places I have not visited, and I've always wanted to go.
It is, I mean, I went when I was 17, but man, I just remember it was so beautiful, and everyone there was really friendly.
Yeah, Australians are cool. I've known a lot of Australians in my life. They're definitely a really fun bunch to be around.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, yeah, I'd love to go there and just even and see the wildlife there, because apparently they're just everything there's huge, like everything. Like spiders are just enormous, and everything is just enormous.
I was just like about to bitch about the spiders. That's the one thing, thankfully, I did not see when I was there was giant bugs. But I know they're there, and
they are. Yeah,
I've said many times on this podcast. I've said this many times in real life. If it doesn't have 2 legs or 4 legs, I'm not interested. And Australia has full of things that don't have 2 legs or don't have 4 legs.
I'll keep a shotgun with me in my house. If I see one of those spiders, I'm just blasting it out.
Yeah. If I saw a giant spider in my house, I'd probably light it on fire. The whole house.
The whole house. Yeah, exactly. To hell with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so Australia's cool.
Very cool.
Definitely love to go, but it'd have to be a long trip, right? Because I want to see the whole thing. It's a big country.
I've been to Cairns. I've been to Sydney. There's one more city I've been to. Speaking of being raised Catholic, even though you didn't ask, I'm going to tell you anyway. The reason I was there was World Youth Day in 20.
Oh, look at you!
I was 17. I got to see the Pope in person. I think it was about two popes ago, maybe 3.
Oh, here's my favorite. Yeah, what's his name? John Paul? No, I can't remember.
No, it doesn't.
Or Paul?
Huh?
Never mind.
But that's the reason I was there. My small little Catholic church in my tiny little Montana town, we got the money together to go. I mean, that's a thing. World Youth Day. I don't know if it's still a thing, but all the Catholic kids go to have mass with the Pope.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's still a thing. Why not, right? Have an event like that. It's uniting.
Sure.
Tasmania would be cool to go to too.
Yeah, I'd love to.
right? Even though, yeah, it's just funny, like the history of Tasmania. Or I don't know if it's a myth or a lie, but they say Tasmania is where, because the English Empire sent its prisoners to Australia, right?
Right.
But in
Yeah.
Tasmania, they sent only the rapists and murderers, like the really, really dangerous ones.
Please don't put that out there if it's not true.
All right, fine.
I hear the Tasmanian devil hangs out there.
I also read they're trying to bring him back.
Really?
Through genetics, yeah.
Oh, good for
Because they
them.
actually, because it got extinct only a few years ago, right? I mean, decades ago. Like, it's recent.
Oh, I was talking about the Looney Tunes cartoon.
Oh, yes, they do have him down there. So Robbie Williams could become UK's UFO figurehead after alien encounters.
He was the one that bought Skinwalker Ranch, right?
He was the guy that was there, yes, and talked about his experience in LA when he saw this orb,
Yeah.
I guess, enter his apartment.
Was it him?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's the one who told that story, where he was out on the deck or something. This thing came, he saw it, and it came into his house.
I don't think I know that story.
No, I remember him saying that in Skinwalker Ranch. He told that story. Maybe I'm mixing it up with something else.
Well, okay, there was a guy. Okay, there was the guy who was trying to be an actor in LA, and he came out to Skinwalker Ranch to pray or something, and something like Predator run out of the woods and
Oh
yelled.
yeah, I remember that one. That was so
Okay,
scary.
All right, so that's not the one you're talking
That's
about.
not not this guy.
Okay.
No, he was sitting around. He was one of the main characters, kind of. He would always be around the fire with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly, man, that's weird. I don't remember that story at all. And I love Skinwalker Ranch. You know
Then
that.
then I'm mixing up. I mean, then he said it somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so what is he in the news for? I read the title of the article and I don't remember what it said. Oh, he could become UK's UFO figurehead after alien encounters. Okay, good for him.
The singer says he has been targeted by aliens.
Well, they always seem to target individuals. Like, it's never just one off. Like, if you've seen a UFO, like, you see it over and over and over again.
So leading ufologist and documentary maker Mark Christopher Lee believes that Robbie has been picked to potentially be an earthly ambassador for alien beings. Robbie is no stranger to alien life, either having openly admitted to encountering a UFO so near he could have lobbed a tennis ball at it, reported the Daily Star. He also spoke of the appearance of a gold ball of light, yeah, that one, during a recording session, for his song Arizona, which touches on alien encounters. Interesting. So Mr. Lee is confident that the evidence presented in his forthcoming documentary, set to release later in 2025, will solidify the reality of alien life. He has also envisioned Robbie as an ideal spokesperson for their existence due to his celebrity status and ability to communicate with the masses.
Well, it's funny. We're kind of getting away from politicians and more into celebrities running the show. Not really sure how I feel about that.
Yeah. I guess it makes sense if you want to put out a message, it's an easy, but if anything, the election showed this past election is that celebrities have no power.
No,
they threw everything at this.
My God.
And they still lost.
So pathetic. And, God, who can forget all the celebrities on YouTube or whatever during COVID singing into their cameras and all that shit?
Oh, that was so cringe.
Oh my God, tell me about it.
That was torturous, man. That whole period was torturous.
I don't know. I had a good time.
I did too. I was trolling on Instagram, and I never ever post, on my personal accounts, but during COVID, every single day I was posting.
Yeah, I think I've told this story before. I was scared for the first 2 weeks, and then then I just was like, this is stupid.
Right. Something's wrong with this.
Yeah. But the point is, my life barely changed. I mean, I was still going to work, Monday through Friday, 9 through 5. Oh, good. Here's
It
a
was just
story
a
about-
shopping, man. It was just a shopping. Yeah. Anyway,
Oh,
yes.
you had to put on a mask to
Oh,
go to a
dude.
restaurant.
Oh
to
my
sit
God.
down and take off the mask. It was
Absolutely
all so
torture.
stupid, man. It was all so stupid.
So dumb. So dumb.
Now, never mind. I was gonna make a joke about fuck them, but it's too on the
I
nose.
think they're on the in the title.
Oh, is that right?
I think so.
Oh yeah, look at that. Israeli study finds surprising link between UFO sightings and economic status.
They're such. I mean, this is such a stupid thing. They basically say that if you're rich and you're in an affluent area, then you're more likely to report a UFO.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so
Well,
forget about all those farmers, that have all those reports and those experiences. That's, I guess they're rich.
and some of the best, most credible UFO stories come from farmers and the like.
Right, exactly.
I can't think of, actually, maybe I
Yeah.
can't think of a rich person who's come forward about seeing a UFO and how it changed your life.
Did Bigelow ever see one? Maybe not.
I don't know. Maybe.
That's the only person I would think of. A billionaire that has said that. There must be one. There must be.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, remember the Microsoft dude? He's dead now. It's Steve. He even built the Allen array. Those the radio
Oh
telescope.
yeah.
Yeah, he was obsessed.
Well, he's one. On the other hand, we've got hundreds of thousands of poor farmers who have seen and been,
right.
They've encountered UFOs.
So, see, it says here, in a study published in the Humanities and Social Sciences Communications Journal, the researchers discovered a surprising link between reports of these phenomena and macroeconomic conditions at the county, state, and national levels in the U.S. So what's he saying? It's like rich billionaires flying their UFOs, and trillionaires.
Yeah, I mean, sure, I guess that makes sense.
So they found, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
They found that reports of such phenomena were more common in wealthier regions, though a counter-cyclical trend was observed within those regions as well.
I don't trust anything about this study.
Me neither. Absolute hogwash. What are they talking about? What are they? There must be an agenda here. I can't figure it out. I mean, of course there is. It's an Israeli funded things about the U.S. So
right,
there's something here. I just can't figure it out. Reports of an unidentified aerial phenomenon serve as an indirect but effective indicator of public attention to unusual events. The study shows that these reports are linked to economic conditions, meaning they can be used to understand how attention shifts based on economic circumstances. We found that wealthier areas report more UAP, while such reports increase during economic recessions within specific regions, suggesting that public attention shifts more towards unusual events during times of crisis.
All right, so the only thing that I can understand, wealthy people fly more, right?
Yes.
Where do you see UFOs? You see them in the sky. And so if you're on a plane, you see more UFOs. That's the only thing I can understand that.
I mean, maybe they have more of a luxury to be outside, have a backyard or something, or a patio, Yeah, it could be that. Other than that, I mean,
yeah. I don't buy any of this.
This is the first study of its kind. All right. Try again, I would say.
Yeah.
Oh, and what about this mystery fog? Damn, we're at 2 hours.
Mystery fog. Which one's this?
It's something that this mystery fog has been reported, and people were getting sick, and it was happening in New Jersey. They were blaming the drones.
Whoa, I haven't heard about this.
That were spraying stuff. So it's like this. it's a fog, but then when you put light into it, it's not really fog.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's completely new to me. I hadn't heard about any of that.
See, 50 degrees plus fog does not look like fog. I mean, it could be just fog, and people are just freaked about drones. You know what I mean? I can't.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the kind of climate we're in. I mean, I'm not trying to discourage everyone who's seen UAPs or drones outside New Jersey, but this kind of thing, it's scary and it makes people panic a little bit.
Right.
That
yeah.
does not look like fog, though.
No. No, it doesn't. A lot of people are showing this.
I would say it looks like snow.
There seems to be a situation developing. This is actually affecting multiple people across different states, starting from the east.
It just looks like fog, but okay, I'm going to listen.
Yeah. I was going to say, this looks like fog.
And what people are posting and coming forward and claiming is this weird fog that's blanketing them. But the weird thing about it is it looks different, it smells different. It is actually hurting their nose, eyes, and throat. Take a look at these next 4 videos and let us know, are you or have you seen this mysterious fog?
I don't know what the fuck is going on. But it went from snow, rain, cold to 50 degrees and fog. Now, this is the exact type of shit that I be talking about.
I mean, I don't know. Have you ever had fog just come in out of nowhere? I've easily experienced that like so many times. Like out of nowhere, all of a sudden it's foggy everywhere.
Yeah, I've experienced that. You have too.
Yeah.
We live in California. There's weather here. I mean, but these people, I'm assuming they've lived there for a long time and they know what fog and whatever this is. They know the difference between the two. I'm assuming.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's continue.
When it comes to this geoengineering and how they alter in the atmosphere and they're fucking with the ozone layer and they're obscuring the fucking vision of the sky.
Yeah, you lost me.
Yeah, he went down a rabbit hole there.
Yeah, just a little bit. I don't want to disparage these people. I mean, they believe what they want to believe, and go ahead, do you, man.
Oh yeah, and she makes fun of it. The mysterious fog that has been reported on from around the world has been solved. It's a natural occurrence that's called fog.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of where I am with this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying like some people have not experienced something being sprayed, in their area. Vienna. Like what? This is just fog, guys.
I think they're making a joke. I think that's supposed to be a joke.
Creepy fog source uncovered. I've discovered the source of the fog mystery.
It's another joke.
All right, thank God.
I think this is. We can
now it's the mystery fog. All right. Anyway, yes.
Yeah.
Let us continue. Oh, so here's the manifesto.
Oh, is this Luigi guy? Oh, Cybertruck. Oh no,
the Cybertruck guy. So yes, this came out I think yesterday. This news or before yesterday.
Cool
so
beans.
Apparently, the Cybertruck guy he sent an email to this guy here. I forget his name, Simon something. And he's going to read the manifesto of why he did what he did. Pretty nice. And if it's real, well, we can discuss it.
So this email came in on December 31st at 10:42 a.m. That is Tuesday. He said, in case I do not make it to my decision point or onto the Mexico border, I am sending this now. Please do not release this until 1 January and keep my identity private until then. First off, I'm not under duress or hostile influence or control. My first car was a 2006 black Ford Mustang V6 for verification. What we have been seeing with drones, he puts that in quotes, he says drones, is the operational use of gravitic propulsion systems powered aircraft by most recently China and the East Coast, but throughout history, the US. Only we in China have this capability. Our OPSEN, that's Operation Center, our OPSEN location for this activity is in the box below. China has been launching them from the Atlantic from submarines for years, but this activity recently has picked up. As of now, it is just a show of force, and they are using it similar to how they use the balloon for SIGINT and ISR, which are also part of the integrated comms system. There are dozens of those balloons in the air at any given time. The so what is because of the speed and stealth of these unmanned aircraft. They are the most dangerous threat to national security that has ever existed. They basically have an unlimited payload capacity and can park it over the White House if they wanted. It's checkmate. U.S. government needs to give the history of this, how we are employing it and weaponizing it, how China is employing them and what the way forward is. China is poised to attack anywhere in the East Coast. I've been followed for over a week now from likely Homeland or FBI, and they are looking to move on me and are unlikely going to let me cross into Mexico, but won't because they know I am armed and I have a massive VBID. Let me pause right there for a second. So he says a massive VBID. When I was talking to the FBI yesterday, they didn't know what a VBID was. I had to explain what that acronym meant, literally.
You fucking serious?
Dead serious. I said it twice and he goes, you said that word VBID. Can you tell me what that is? For your audience, a VBID, for your audience who has not been in the GWAT for the last 20 years, a VBID is a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device. In layman's terms, a car bomb, what we saw at Trump Tower. So backing up, he says, I am armed and have a massive VBID. I've been trying to maintain a very visible profile and have kept my phone, and they are definitely digitally tracking me. Here's where he gets into the other stuff. And this is where we had to redact the names. Well, your producer redacted the names. I have knowledge of this program and also war crimes that were covered up during airstrikes in Nimruz province, Afghanistan in 2019 by the admin, DOD, DEA, and CIA. I conducted targeting for these strikes of over 125 buildings. 65 were struck because of civcas, that's civilian casualties, that killed hundreds of civilians in a single day. U.S. FORA continued strikes after spotting civilians on initial ISR. It was supposed to take 6 minutes and scramble all aircraft in CENTCOM. The UN basically called these war crimes, but the administration made them disappear. I was part of that cover-up with U.S. FORA, an agent, redacted, of the DEA. So I don't know if my abduction attempt is related to either. I worked with redacted IO staff on this as well as the response to Bala Murghab. Redacted commander at the time, redacted can validate this. You need to elevate this to the media so we avoid a world war because this is a mutually assured destruction situation. Then he says, for vetting, my LinkedIn is Matt Berg or Matthew Livelsberger, an active duty 18 Zulu out of 110, that's 1st Battalion 10th Special Forces Group. My profile is public. I have an active TSSCI with UAP, USAP access.
USAP access. So he had unacknowledged special access program access. Well, this guy's saying it's China, but that would just be so crazy for China to do. You know,
Man, I mean, he dropped so much personal knowledge.
Yeah, he would
Man,
know.
Hard to believe. I mean, I don't know.
but you know, it turns out it wasn't his body also in there. Like even the police officers or the investigators said that he was shot before the car was detonated, and then when his DNA doesn't match his son's DNA, so either his son is not really his son, or that's just not his body in there. You know, so it's really weird. And then this thing coming out, I don't know, man. They're getting really sloppy with their false flags, or it's just chaotic out there.
Yeah. Wow.
Super strange. He said gravitic propulsion. Yeah, I mean, and that's out there now, and saying that we've done it for most of the history, right? And now China can do it. So maybe this is just their way of disclosing this.
I mean, it's a really shitty way to disclose,
or forced disclosure.
Yeah, maybe. Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, he was being followed. He was going to go to Mexico too. He said that, right? That he's going to try and go to Mexico. So instead, he just blew it up.
Well,
very strange.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what the the online debate is about him in the next coming days, weeks, whatever.
Yeah, because this guy, the guy from the NOLA, the New Orleans thing that happened New Year's Eve,
Mm-hmm.
that
I
terrorist
didn't
act.
actually hear about this.
Yeah, so he's born in Texas. I think last name is Jabbar or something like that. He's Muslim, born in Texas. He's actually from the same Fort Bragg, because the Cybertruck guy and him both were at Fort Bragg.
Fort Bragg, military base. Not a lot of good things goes on there.
Yeah, military base. But then, well, you know, what's weird is before the media, or the first media person that got into this guy's apartment, I guess even before the FBI or whatever, is this New York Post journalist. Her name is Jenny Terr.
Mm-hmm.
Reporter Am Yisrael Shai. Long live Israel, she has in her post. New York Post owner Lachlan Murdoch secretly meets with Netanyahu. New York Post owner Rupert Murdoch. In another month, America gets back beside Israel. Anyway, she goes in there and she just basically, he apparently had a Quran opened on some verse that said that was 9/11 or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just weird that they have this lady go in there and go through his apartment.
It's not that weird. I mean, yeah, to the layman, sure, it's weird, but we all know, what's going on here.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. They're trying to make the boogeyman from 2001, and they just won't stop. They won't stop. They need a war, so they're trying to make it about that.
Yep.
Even though this guy was born in Texas, was an American serviceman, and he would know that. Oh yeah, that's right. He pledged allegiance to ISIS or something like that, and he would know that we created ISIS and used them.
And he left an open Quran on his.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Shocker. Yeah. Weird. It's almost like weird. It's almost like the news writes itself.
Yeah. I mean, it just fits what they want. They always benefit no matter what.
Yep.
Or at least they try.
That's why my name is fuck them, because they get away with fucking everything.
Oh, well, listen to this, what they get away with. Always winning.
What else the government did this past weekend? Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, just passed a bill. The House of Representatives just passed a bill that gives the soldiers of the IDF, that's the Israeli Defense Force. You now have Israeli Defense Force foreign military receiving United States military benefits.
This is true.
Wow, what he just said, what Joey just said, people here can't even afford health insurance, and now they're giving it to a foreign country, which in my opinion is a fucking enemy. They're the most disgusting, evil country on earth that has attacked the United States multiple times. And you're going to
multiple times.
And you're telling me these motherfuckers deserve to live? These politicians deserve to be alive? Get the fuck out of here. They're all fucking traitors, and they deserve to all be fucking hung.
I can't believe they're giving IDF soldiers U.S. military benefits. It's insane.
Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. I'm on this guy's side, and all of our politicians, because they have the Jewish flag next to the American flag in every one of their fucking offices. Fuck them all. Fuck them all.
Yeah, it's crazy how they have that flag there. Or what's his name? Mast. That guy Mast. He lost both his legs in these wars. He wore an IDF uniform in Congress, and they made him the head of foreign intelligence or something like that. It's a really powerful position. It's scary, how they've taken over. Really scary.
Yeah, fuck them, and they get to do all that shit because the Holocaust. Like, I get the Holocaust was bad. I'm not disputing that, but like, you can't use that as an excuse to be fucking evil.
Yeah, the ultimate victims. What was it? Not forever. Eternal. The eternal victims. Yeah. Even though they're just crushing it in everything, in every industry, in everything you can think of, just crushing it. How's that victimhood? You can't just sit there and be a victim always.
Yeah, I agree.
So this he uncovered. No one's going to be surprised of this. That the FBI basically creates terrorists.
Oh, weird! Doesn't the CIA do that too?
Yeah, they learned it from somewhere. So and this documentary apparently is coming out soon, so I'd love to see it.
Chris Morris, you'll probably fault me on this, but The Day Shall Come seems to me to be a more serious departure from Four Lions. Or are you going to tell me it's in exactly the same theme?
No, it's not exactly the same theme, because I think Four Lions is about five people who are terrorists.
Right.
And this is about a group of people who definitely aren't. So this film sort of comes in under two questions, which is one, who is the biggest recruiter of terrorists in the USA? And two, what would you do if you were broke, about to lose your house, and someone offered you 100 grand? And that's really, the answer to the first question is, rather surprisingly, the biggest recruiter of terrorists in the States is the FBI.
Mhm.
And the answer to the second one gives you the clue as to how our story works. Because the FBI have accidentally, it seems, developed a system which works rather well. And the system is, they make up a terrorist plot, they find someone to try and carry it out, and they arrest them for doing that.
And then get the kudos for having fought the Great War against terrorism.
Well, they get all sorts of things, really. I mean, it's quite complicated, but I guess the essential element of our story is that these people are not terrorists, but the government ends up putting them in jail
for very
as
long
if they
terms.
were. Yes, 25, 30 years. And there's a close to 100% conviction rate in these cases. And I wasn't looking for this. I wasn't aware of this. I mean, I think we all sort of have a vague idea that the FBI may be involved in setting people up. But then when you follow the story that I did and you see it close up, it's jaw-dropping.
It's really shocking and very, very hard to believe. And yet the statistics, once you lay them out, are quite extraordinary. I mean, we're talking about 100 incidents of the FBI doing this, 100 known incidents.
More, actually, more. Yes, I mean, I say it's based on 100 true stories. That's
Yeah.
a sort of notional 100. It's in the right ballpark. It's more likely 300. But
300 times, the FBI have managed to pin a crime on essentially innocent people who were just part of some casual grouping, who they trained to be terrorists and then arrested and jailed.
yes, if I may take the FBI's side for a second, it sort of works like this. You're freaked out by 9/11. You have to cover yourself because you're implicated in some of the sloppy procedures that led to 9/11. So you talk the threat up. You say there's a sleeper cell in every city, and then you go and find it. Now, you don't know what you're looking for. And classically in the FBI, you talk about other people, you look at brown and black people because they are more likely, you think, to be a problem. And if somebody sticks their head up in one of those communities, then you surround them with false friends, informants, who will offer them money and friendship to try and lure them along a sort of carefully scripted program of self-incrimination, which results in that person going to jail. And you will say to the court as a prosecutor, is it better that this person goes to jail or that we let them go back out on the street? And the juries always say, better put them in jail.
I don't know if I blame the jury or the FBI on this.
Well, I mean, I blame the FBI. The jury is just members of the public like you and me. And when you're told, I mean, here we go again. People like to be told what to do. And when you're sitting on a jury and everyone's telling you that this person is a no good scumbag, who are you gonna believe? The no good scumbag or the people who are telling you that he's a no good scumbag?
Yeah, good point. But that's just crazy. So I think almost like 100% of terrorist actions have happened in the United States is the FBI.
Yeah, shit. I mean,
basically saying.
we gave Osama bin Laden's we gave him weapons and told him to fight the Russians. We put Saddam Hussein into power. We create these enemies just so we can take them down for a home run. We do it all the time.
Yeah. Well,
shit. Is that how we're ending this?
No. I was going to tell you there's a couple more things. There's Sam Hyde calling out Elon Musk about banning America First accounts, and that's it. I mean, we are at 2 hours 20 minutes. So do you want to hear that, or you want to just end it on this note?
No. Well, shit. What do you want to do?
I mean, it is a good clip, and if you don't know what happened, there was the Elon started talking about H1B visa program, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Now MAGA don't like that, right? And he was really pushing for it because they don't like illegal, and they don't like illegal either. That's it. We don't have enough space anymore. Just stop it, you know. And that the
Right.
H1B visa does get abused by corporations because they hire people for much cheaper than Americans. you
Yeah, I
know?
was gonna say, yeah, it's
Yeah.
all about hiring a cheaper workforce.
So they were ratioing Elon, and he's like the big baby that he is, he couldn't handle it, and
Yeah.
he started banning accounts, and now he's changing the algorithm, and he's making huge changes and banning people he said he wouldn't before, just because he doesn't like they doesn't like that they're arguing with him.
Yeah,
So that's what this is in response to.
another person gets to be in charge, and they just fuck it all up.
Yep, as usual, right? They drunk on power. So here's
Yeah.
Sam Hyde. I think he does a really good job talking about what happened.
The guy who's the free speech guy. And not only that, but the reasoning from first principles guy, the logical fallacy guy, the Reddit guy, good faith argue with everybody, whatever. All that shit. Blanket banning groypers, taking away blue checks, changing the algorithm of the site because 100 people ratioed you, because there's fucking 50,000 posts. They're all organic, by the way. This is not some Russian bot farm. It's not some nefarious behind the scenes, let's mess with Elon, we're gonna fuck with him. It's not what it is. It's you tapped into a moist critical. You tapped into a moist critical, and we're back to moist critical. Mainline concern for the American people. And you treated it in a way that was glib and dismissive. You just became a Republican 3 months ago, and you're talking about removing a big portion of regular people, root and stem. No. People fucking love you. They will forgive you. Nobody is trying to get you to become turbo base pilled, full Pat Buchanan immigration policy. People broadly understand that you are a San Francisco, tech, California, international immigrant. If you want to be a regular tech guy, that's fine. You can do that. You can be Larry Ellison. You can go play on the boat. Nobody's going to give a fuck. Realize what you're fighting for. If you're going to be the tech king, if you've courted the MAGA base, you wanted these people on your side. They're ready to be on your side, but you have to fight not for Ben Shapiro's idea of the country of America, the notion of America as this collection of ideas. That's not what it is. It's Americans. That's who you have to fight for. If you're in America, doing business in America, you want to be the man in America, you have to fight for the American people. You're not fighting for a paragraph. You're not fighting for a set of ideas, man. It's the American people who need your help. That's fundamentally why I think people are pissed off here. And it's an easy fix. Just don't call them retards. The guy who...
And he actually did that. He actually did call retards. And then he does continue about it here, because it's all about Indians, right? A lot of it is, and getting Indian tech jobs. So there's a great commentary. He goes, how come China is not like importing lots of Indian labor?
China importing infinity Indians right now. If it's such a huge economic advantage, why isn't China doing it? We need to do a naval blockade of China to make sure they don't get any of these amazing Indians. Every Indian that makes his way into China is a threat, because China will use their genius to get one over on us. That's the biggest threat this country's facing, right? I think we need to go nuclear. I think we need to say, if China imports enough Indians, it's like diamonds. It's like nanotechnology. Indians are like nanotechnology. We have to be willing to use nuclear weapons to keep China from getting these precious Indians. That's step one. Sounds retarded, right? Because it is. It's retarded. It's subtarded. Subtard. By the way, Moist Critical coined that term, subtard. Compete.
Okay. He's hilarious, man. So funny.
Damn
But
right.
and he's doubling and tripling down. He's not like caving in at all to this point. It's just nuts. Like, easy there, man. Like, why are you being this way about this one issue?
I mean, Hyde's exactly right. The whole Republican base is going to turn on
Yeah.
Musk if he doesn't shape up and start being the person that they wanted him to be.
Exactly. Like, he forgets who's behind him with this. God, it's so nuts. So, how, humans. He's a human, but why can't he not act like just a baby? It's really immature behavior.
It's so embarrassing for him,
Yeah, it is. But I guess he doesn't care. I mean,
I think with that much money, you don't have to care,
Right.
unfortunately.
Right.
Well,
that's what we have for our first show of 2025. Right
What?
at 225.
What are we on?
102.
102.
Yeah.
Well, this has been the Uncovering Anomalies podcast, episode 102.
That's right.
In the first episode of 2025. I hope you all very much enjoyed this episode.
We did.
We always do. That is I Have a Need to Know Adam. And Adam, where can we find us on social media?
You can find us on that free speech platform, which is not free speech anymore, X. And you know who is free speech? It's Rumble. You can also find us there at Rumble. We're on YouTube, who do just delete our episodes randomly every
Hell
once in
yeah.
a while.
Go YouTube.
Yeah. BitChute, which is definitely free speech. It's almost impossible to actually get something off BitChute because it's decentralized.
I bet if we criticize the right people, or should I say the wrong people?
Oh no, there's a bunch of that stuff there.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Stuff you won't find anywhere else. And Odyssey, you'll find stuff in Odyssey too for sure. The ADL's been trying to shut them down for a long time.
Well,
we're on those platforms. What else am I missing? We have a support link under each. Yes, I got a show. We have a support link under each episode. So if you can, click on that. If you can't, share the show, go on those platforms, like us, show us some support.
Yeah. Please
let us know how we're doing.
Please share the show. Tell a like-minded friend about our show.
Right. Or family member.
Yeah. Of course, all of that, or you know what? I'm just gonna say it. Put us on Facebook. Your account will be deleted, but we'll appreciate it nonetheless.
Yeah, that's right. If you want to get your account nuked on Facebook, you can just post one of our episodes on there.
Any episode, literally any of them. I am Topher, and I just want to send out a little reminder to remember, fuck them. Fuck them all.
Fuck them all. I agree. It's their time. Their time is coming.
Man, this podcast is going to get taken down so fast. It won't even make it. You're going to be in the middle of uploading it, and it's just going to go down. It's just going to be like,
nope, that's going to happen soon because AI is going to go through everything right before uploading.
Yeah. You know what's funny is the episodes that get taken down, it's every time we talk about COVID, and we talked about it this episode. So hey,
man,
listeners, enjoy it while it lasts because it's not staying up.
Well, at least the audio version will come through on the podcasting platforms.
For a little bit anyway. I was pretty aggressive this episode. I don't know if this is staying up anywhere.
We'll see. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Thank you all so much for listening. We'll see you next week.
Yep, next week. Late.